Well, hello, Mark. How's it going?
Good.
Okay. First thing I need you to do, Mark, is make sure your homework packet is in the proper order and you have the proper headings on them as well.
I did.
Okay?
I checked it myself.
Positive?
Yeah.
All right. I'm gonna review. Let's see how well you did. Did you do your journal entries?
Yes.
Yes. Let me see. Let me take a look here. Is it ever okay to take the law into your own hands? Why not? I wouldn't take the law into my own hands because most of the time when someone takes the laws into their own hands, they most likely get in trouble or even death. I'm just kidding, but they can get in prison for so long. No, it's true. Sometimes things don't quite work out. When you take the law into your own hands, you can be arrested and you can get into some serious trouble, and sometimes you can get seriously hurt as well. Okay, wow, not bad, not bad. How'd you do on your ELD packet?
Well, it was pretty good.
Right, okay. What's evidence?
Evidence, like stuff, like say scientists need to prove their theory.
Okay, all right, good job. All right. How about in a courtroom?
They
How do they use evidence in a courtroom?
to prove if someone's guilty or not.
Okay. Well, how are they exactly using that evidence to prove? Who are they proving it to?
The judge.
Okay. Sometimes there's a judge, and sometimes there's also another panel of individuals that's also known as a. Do you remember? There's 12 of them. They're usually your own peers.
I don't know.
They're referred to as the jury.
The jury.
And so the prosecutor and the public defender or the defense lawyer always throw out a whole bunch of evidence to try and convince the jury of their viewpoint as to why their defendant should be found not guilty. And the prosecutor throws all of this evidence out at the jury panel as well too, because they want to find that the individual guilty. And it's all done through the use of evidence.
Okay.
What does it mean to summarize?
Summarize to have a short story.
Okay, let's say I gave you a huge long story like that Swiss Family Robinson book that you just read, and I told you I want you to summarize that huge long book into a one-page summary.
You just want to.
So what are you gonna tell me?
Well, I was gonna tell you I made a short. I made a summary of the like. Say if you read the whole book, you're trying to like make it like, simplify, make it smaller.
All right, good job. Good job, Mark. Yes, you're not gonna give me all of the details. You're gonna give me just the main points of the story itself. All right, awesome, awesome. No, I think it just went asleep. It's still awake. See the light up on top there?
Uh,
It is green, isn't it?
I see white. Oh, and it's green.
Yeah, up there. See it? Up there?
Again.
Okay, now you're kind of ruining my video here, but that's all right. I'm not worried about that. All right, let me see here. Should all Americans have the right to free health care? I think that everyone should get free health care, and more importantly, the little kids. And I believe you're correct about that. I believe that all kids should have access to some kind of health care.
What if they get sick?
Exactly, and that's what I mean. They should have access to it. I believe that no one should be kicked out of your hospital because they can't pay for it. That's not right. What if someone is badly injured? And that's true. Usually, they never turn away anybody who's badly injured. They're actually required by law to have to give them care, whether they can afford it or not. Especially at a county hospital like Kern Medical Center, that's in East Bakersfield.
I think I've been there before.
I've been there. I was actually born there back in 1966, Mark.
Oh.
But it wasn't Kern Medical Center back then. It was called Bakersfield General Hospital back then.
What?
It had a different name back then.
Back then, no. They made the school, PHS.
Yes.
Wasn't that school there before the city?
Bakersfield High School.
Yeah.
Bakersfield High School has been around as long as the city has been. The city's been around longer than Bakersfield High School. But Bakersfield High School is the oldest high school here in Kern County. And I believe it's over 100 years old, if I remember correctly.
And the city is about like,
The
I think it was
city is,
118.
I want to say the city is just a little bit older than that, if I remember correctly.
Oh, yeah.
And Bakersfield High School wasn't always known as Bakersfield High School. It was also known as Kern High School as well, too. It had a different name when it first started as well, too. So,
And there was a hospital there before.
you might be correct about that, but I'm not familiar with that myself.
People say there used to be ghosts there, but I don't know.
There might be. I don't know. You
Dead
never
people
know.
were there.
Okay, so how'd you do on your world history exam here?
I think I got all of them right.
Okay, all right. So,
I think the book was really helpful.
okay, it usually is, you know. So, in fact, I'm gonna upgrade this really quick, and I should have a key already because one of my other students pretty much has the identical schedule as you, and I graded hers this morning. Is there anything that you weren't able to finish at all, Mark?
Hmm?
Any of your homework assignments that you weren't able to finish?
Just my book report.
Okay, all right. And we're gonna make arrangements on your book report. Okay, that is something I'm gonna want you to finish over the holidays. Okay, and over the holidays, I want you to find yourself another book to read because we're gonna start this process all over again for the spring semester.
Okay,
Okay,
that's about reading it.
but I'm not gonna be so stringent about page requirements. I want you to find a book that you're gonna be happy reading for fun.
I think Goosebumps.
Okay, and if that appeals to you, then so be it. Goosebumps will be fine with me. Okay. Anyone in particular? Because I know there's a huge long series on
Well,
those.
I think the scariest would be, I don't know. I think it would have to be with the Night of the Living Dawn.
Might be. I don't know. I'm not too familiar with all of them myself personally, but I know the younger kids really love them. You know, and if that really appeals to you, then that's what I want you to read for next semester. Okay, Mark?
Okay.
Because there's nothing worse than reading a book that's really not doing it for you. You know what I mean by that?
Yeah.
Well, what do I mean by that?
Like, okay. Okay, I don't know how to explain it, but
Here, let me put it in a different manner. Have you ever read a book that was so boring that it was really hard for you to continue to read it? Or did it make any sense to you?
I think there's one book. I forgot. I think it was Harry Potter. I don't like
Hmm.
the Harry Potter books.
Yeah, neither do I. They don't appeal to me. My wife loves them, but I'm not much of a fantasy person genre. I don't. I rarely read anything that's fantasy related. You know, I love fiction and I love nonfiction as well. But anything that's related to fantasy, it just doesn't appeal to me. But science fiction, I do love. I love science fiction. That really does appeal to me. Okay, let me take the time to grade your first page here really quick because I don't want to spend my entire time grading everything in front of you. Okay, B, C, A. So far, so good, Mark. Okay, not that one, but not that. So, are you sure you used your book?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay. So far, Mark, out of 8 questions on your first page, how many have you missed so far?
3.
Yeah. No. How many have you missed?
Oh, 5.
Yes. Are you sure you used your book?
Yeah.
Yes. Okay. All right. Don't feel bad though, because some of my other students did really poorly on this exam too. Even though I encouraged them to use the book. How about on your study skills?
Study skills?
Yes.
I don't really like decimals.
Decimals and percent. They're interchangeable. Are you aware of that?
What do you mean?
You've been working with decimals all your life. Were you aware of that?
Yeah.
Yes. Such as in what example am I referring to?
You like money?
Money is always done in decimals. How much is a quarter?
25 cents.
25 cents. And how do you write that out?
Dot 25.
Yeah, 0.25. Yes, which is a decimal. Okay, you've been working with them all your life, and most people learn money real early on in their age. You know, so you probably are just not very comfortable with it. But over time, we'll get you comfortable with this concept.
Okay.
Okay, it's not anything really strange and unusual. It's quite straightforward, you know. And decimals and percents are interchangeable.
Okay.
So 25 cents is 25%. Okay, that's 1/4 of a dollar, and 25% is 1/4 of 100%.
Mm-hmm.
So they're kind of interchangeable. So that's what makes it really easy to tell you the truth, you know. And so, but like I said, I don't want to spend my whole entire time grading this in front of you because I have a lot to cover with you as well too. So,
Okay.
all right, important dates that are coming up, Mark. We're going to be going on vacation soon. You can come to school next week if you so choose to, Mark, but I'm going to give you 2 weeks worth of work that will carry on through the holiday season. And we're not going to meet until the 15th of January.
That's like almost a month.
Yeah, it is. Actually, it's a little more than a month. It's a month and 4 days. So you have a lot of time. So during that time, I want you to find another book, preferably a goosebump book, something that appeals to you, that you're going to enjoy reading, and something that you'll have fun doing the book report on as well too.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So let's go over your homework packet that I'm going to give to you here.
Which one?
Well, we're going to start. We're going to go in order, like we normally do. Okay. So week 16 and 17, we're going to start with week 16 first. As usual, journal entries. And this is what you're going to do for this week. What do the title and subheading of Greenblatt's article, What is the Age of Responsibility, tell you about the topic of this article? And you know what? You don't have that, so I'm going to eliminate that journal prompt from you because I'm not actually giving you that portion. But I do want you to respond to this one. Do you believe it is necessary to have age restrictions for certain activities?
Yeah.
Okay. Such as, give me an example.
Going to a bar.
Right. Good job. Yes. Because there really shouldn't be children allowed to go into a bar, especially where there's alcohol being served. It's perfectly accessible in a restaurant, because there's food that's being served, and people do need to eat, but in a bar where the people are just there to drink, no, it's not appropriate. Okay. Your second prompt. What does it mean to be responsible?
What does it mean to be responsible?
Yeah, what does that mean? What does that mean to you?
To reduce, like, to be, I don't know, to take care of the stuff, make sure they're not damaged.
Mm-hmm.
Being responsible.
You're kind of in the right track, Mark. To take care of all your duties, everything that's expected of you. Like if your dad says, "Hey, you need to have the lawn cut, you need to rake up all the leaves," that's part of your responsibilities. And in order for you to be responsible, you need to do what's asked of you in a quick, timely manner, and not have to be asked and reminded over and over to throw the trash out. Mark, I told you this morning, throw the trash out. It's 4 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm reminding you again, throw the trash out. Are you being responsible if you're taking your time in that manner?
No.
No, you're not. Good job. All right. Your Thursday and Friday are going to be free writes. I just want you to write about responsibility.
Okay.
Okay? And continue to write about things that you need to be responsible about.
Okay.
All right. Okay, for your ELD packet for this week, the story that you're going to read on this one is going to be, have social networking sites had a negative impact on our society?
I think so. I'm not sure. Well,
Okay. Give me an example.
Like say, I was watching the news with my mom, and then this guy, he was using his Facebook account to track down his next victims.
Oh, really? Yeah. All right. Okay. All right. That is a negative impact, And I'll give you an example of another one. I have a personal friend of mine who seems to think because he has over 500 friends on Facebook that they are all close friends that he could truly rely on. Do you really believe that?
No.
So he's going to be sorely disappointed when one day he needs to call up on his friends to ask them for help, and he's going to realize that not everybody that he thinks are friends are going to go out of their way to help him out. Myself personally, Mark, all of my good friends that are willing to want to help me out, if I called them up at 3 o'clock in the morning, they would come to my house to help me. I can count them all on one hand, all less than one hand. I maybe have 3 at the most that I really can truly depend on. Everybody else that people tend to think are friends of mine, no, they're just acquaintances, people that I know. They're not really true friends, just people that I know. And you probably know individuals like that. You have your really close friends that are there for you, and you have people that you know that you say hello to, but they're not really your friends. They're just people you know. Okay. So for your vocabulary on week 12 for your ELD pack is impact. The impact that this ALD packet is having on your ability to learn the English language is going to be dramatic in the long run as you develop better vocabulary and you start using it in your writing.
Okay.
Perceive. Perceive is how you view something. In fact, I'll show you the actual definition. To notice something that is difficult to see. I talked to my other student earlier this morning. His name is Jose, and him and his family are field workers, and they work in the fields. For them, they have a really good perception of what it's like to work in the fields because they know it's hard work, because
Yeah.
they've done it. They've done that kind of work. For somebody who's never done that kind of work, they have a really difficult time perceiving how difficult that kind of work is because they've never done it in their life. They seem to think, oh, that's easy. I can do that. But in reality, it's really difficult work. I've done that kind of work, and it's not easy. When you're out in the elements, 100 plus degrees, it's and there's no shade, you start to sweat and it starts to get hot out there. But yet you're still expected to work, to either continue to pick grapes or pick strawberries or pick onions as I did one summer, with my parents. And my parents told me straight out, either you go to school, educate yourself, or you can join us here and work in the fields alongside with us. So you make your choice as to what you want to do. What would you want to do, Mark?
Go to school.
Exactly, and that was the path that I chose. Okay, the next one is structure. What do you think structure might mean to you? Structure.
I don't know.
Well, the definition on this one says to arrange people or things carefully in an organized way. Here at Mojave Academy, we try to structure our program where it's always the same every time you come see me, so that way you know what to expect.
Mm-hmm.
Does that kind of make sense to you?
Yeah.
So most people flourish in a structured environment,
What's flourish?
meaning they do really great in that type of environment, and so I did really fantastic when I was in a structured environment. When you're in a classroom where it's really hectic and things are just don't run right, and there's really not a whole lot of learning happening there because it's not a structured program. And I do my best to try and maintain a structured program here, especially with my students, because I'm really careful as to how I want you to learn as best that I can, as best that you can.
Okay.
Okay. So how do you feel about social networking sites? Do you Facebook?
Yeah.
A lot? Are you on it all the time?
No.
No? Okay, all right. That's okay. I'm on it sometimes myself personally. I don't post a lot of personal stuff myself, but I am a mental health advocate, and I do post a lot of mental health advocacy stuff that I put on my Facebook page.
What are those?
An advocate?
Yeah.
An advocate is somebody who speaks out on behalf of somebody else who doesn't really have a voice. And because I know of individuals that suffer from mental illness, including certain family members, of mine, I advocate on their behalf. In fact, I used to be the president of our local NAMI chapter here in Kern County. Do you know what NAMI is?
What is
Do you know what that represents? It's an acronym for National Alliance on Mental Illness.
Oh.
And we do a tremendous amount of good work here in Kern County on behalf of the mentally ill that really don't have a voice for themselves here in Kern County. Okay, so let's move on. For your week 16 mark, you're not going to have any worksheets to deal with on biology, but you do have some book work that I want you to be aware of, and we're moving into the principles of evolution. What is evolution to you? What does that mean to you? Think of the root word to evolve. 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 What do you think evolve means?
Evolve, like
When a creature or a person evolves, they change and become something else.
adapt.
It's kind of has to do with adapting as well too. Sometimes some creatures evolve because they're forced to have to adapt because of climate change. We as individuals, as people, we evolve by trying to become the best person that we can become. And by studying and learning as much as we can, and by being respectful to other people's viewpoints as well, and by others being respectful of our viewpoint as well too. So if everybody was to be able to evolve and grow into a much better person, I believe we would have a lot less problems in this world today. Okay. World history, Mark. You're going to do a final project. There's 15 different projects that you can pick and choose from. Pick the one that really appeals to you, Mark. So, like, look at the first one. Create a sculpture of a historical figure. Use any combination of soap, wood, clay, sticks, wire, stones, old toys, or any other objects. An explanation of how this historical figure affected history should accompany the sculpture. And I'll give you an example. Last spring, my fifth grader, I gave her a project very similar to this. She was studying U.S. history, and I told her pick a U.S. historical figure and create a collage. And she created this right here. What is that right there, Mark?
John Adams.
Oh,
Wait, Benjamin Franklin.
Benjamin Franklin.
Yeah.
And he's also known as the Benjamins. You know, we refer to the $100 bills as the Benjamins. You know, because he's pictured on the $100 bill. He's also known for his bifocals. And he's also, why do you think he's known for the key? Why do you think she put keys in there?
He probably invented it.
Remember he was flying a kite because he was interested in electricity and lightning. And he tied a key to the tail of the kite. He was flying it out in a thunderstorm because he was hoping it would get struck by lightning. And so the key would get electrified. And that was something that he was really famous for. She included all of these things in this collage of hers here. And I thought she did a fantastic job for a fifth grader. And I gave her very little directions on what I wanted her to do. You know, and so this is like a final project. So something similar to this. Although I don't think they included a collage in the description here as to on the projects. But if you wanted to do something similar to this, I don't have an issue with that, Mark. You know, if you want to do something comparable to that.
Okay.
But it's world history, so it has to deal with something related to world history. Okay, Mark?
Okay.
And some of the other projects you can do, you could either write a diary that a historical figure might have kept before, during, or after a particular event. You could dramatize a historical event from your text. You can write a script that is at least 2 pages long. You can prepare a time travel brochure, like you're going back in time to some world event that took place back in the day, like maybe the French Revolution or something like that, you know. Or you can make a detailed illustrated timeline showing a time period or event in history. Remember we've done some timelines before in the past?
Yeah.
And I'll show you another example of one that one of my students recently did as well. This was a timeline that he did on the Civil War.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, he drew his own pictures, you know, and he put all the necessary information about each of the events. The Missouri Compromise, the Fugitive State Law, Uncle Tom's Cabin, the Kansas-Nebraska Act, Scott versus Stanford, the election of 1860, and he ran the whole gamut, you know, and so I was quite pleased with that, you know. In fact, he actually did some mistakes, you know. He started back here on this side, and I don't know if this is the continuation. I think it is the continuation. So, see the arrow? And then he finished the rest of it back here.
I think
I think he underestimated how long the timeline actually was, you know, and so. But overall, he did fantastic, you know, and so. So that's another option that you could do for that, Mark. Okay. All right. As usual, study skills. We're working with squares and square roots. You know what a square root is, Mark? Okay, what is a square root? Yeah, that funny little, it looks like a division symbol, you know, but actually it's not, you know. But it's kind of similar to that, you know. So what's the square root of 36? What number? Good job. So 6 times 6 is 36, right? So the square root of 36 is 6. What would be the square root of 144?
12.
Good job. Somebody, right on. Somebody knows their timetables. Good job, Mark. How about 121?
121.
Right on, right on. How about 100? How about 81?
Try to go higher.
I know. I'm kind of using the easy ones myself, Mark. You know, so
you can go 166. That would be 100. 169. That would be 13. 196. That would be 12.
Right on, Mark. I'm very proud of you that you know your timetables really well. So So squares and square roots is what you'll be working on this one, and compare and order real numbers. Basically, all you're doing is putting them in numerical order from
Okay.
least to greatest. So I don't feel that's going to be a difficult concept for you.
I don't think so.
The only time it starts getting difficult is because they start using negative numbers and square root numbers, and that's what's going to make it challenging. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just kind of be aware that if you get stuck and you get totally lost, what do you need to do? Yeah, give me a call. Give me a call. Send me a text, and I'll help you out as best I can. I may require you to come in, but if we can resolve it over the phone, then we'll do it that way, Mark.
Okay.
There is a chapter test on the back side of it, so just be aware of that. Do the best you can with it as well, Mark.
Okay.
Of course, and your personal favorite, the physical education log. And so are you still stuck on football as usual, or have you moved on?
I only play football. Well, it's because our basketball's got flat,
Really?
and me and Rod, we only go to the park to go play time.
All right, okay.
And sometimes if Joanna comes, we end up playing tackle. She doesn't like throwing it. She'll end up running towards you and pitching you down.
How nice, Mark. Well, you understand everything that I expect for you from here?
Yeah.
All right, good job, Mark. Okay, so you're going to look for a book, right, over the holidays?
Yeah.
Okay, and what kind of book are you going to choose again?
I don't know. I think about picking one from back there.
All right, okay. Just remember that most of what we have in the back are classics, They're old books, even older than me, Mark, so they may not exactly appeal to you, So, but not to say that some of the classics are boring, because some of them are actually really good. My all-time favorite is The Call of the Wild. Call of the Wild by Jack London. I love dog stories, and so if you love dog stories, that probably would appeal to you. He's also written a few others that have been turned into movies. White Fang, in particular, another good story of his, And there's a few others that he's written that are not dog related, like Seawolf, that I've read, which is about a gentleman who was on a ship going overseas, And so it's a long, drawn out story on that one, and I truly enjoyed that one as well too. So, all right, okay. So let me see here. All right, Mark. So. Good job, Mark. So I hope you enjoy your vacation, and I'm gonna walk you out now, okay?
Okay.
All right. Come on, let's go sign you out. And thank you very much, Mark. So.
Is this your pencil?
Yes, it is, Mark.
Doesn't touch screen.